All right, so what we have here inside this box, there are two PlayStation 2 video games, Calibur II, I believe, and another one that I'm forgetting, even though I just looked at the order a few minutes ago. So let's just go ahead and open it up. As we can see, the exterior box is quite protective. It's definitely much larger than the than the space that it takes to put two video games into. There's paper padding here, which, it has pros and cons. It has pros and cons. The games are individually placed in this bubble wrap. I've never really minded bubble wrap or bubble mailers like this one. There are two problems with bubble mailers like this. Problem number one is that this is not free packing material. So in essence, when you're, when you just go to the postal office and sort of walk out with these and then don't use them for priority mail, sending something via priority mail, you're stealing from the postal office. They don't really like that because the price of this packaging is included in the cost of mailing something via priority mail. Of course, in another way, you're kind of helping buyers like me by just reducing the number of bubble mailers out there, because nothing should ever be shipped in a bubble mailer, even if it's, I don't know, a piece of clothing or whatever. It is the absolute worst method of shipping anything. Worse than bubble mailers are only plain plastic, like envelopes or whatever they call them. That stuff just should not exist at all. They're not recyclable, they're wasteful of environmental resources, and they do not protect anything from damage during shipment, when something is hit, corners, etc., etc., etc. So let's take a look at the game itself. What I did not care about all that much was the the condition of the outer wrapping of this game. There do not appear to be like really serious issues. It remains to be seen if this game was stored properly or improperly. If something was placed on it, it could have been printed onto the label underneath. There is a minor concern that I have regarding this scratch right here, right there. It does appear like there's an imprint below it when I move the outer wrapping of the game. That's a bit of a big deal for me, because I don't. Well, a damage to the case and the art cover on the front is basically a game and manual only purchase, and that's not what I wanted with this one. So let's check out the other one here. This one is quite a bit better, but it's also an item that has damage on the front that quite frankly damages the, it's quite visible, it's a very deep gash. It damages the case itself and the art cover underneath, and that is not what I wanted. So despite the fact that this was packed really well, I will most likely be requesting a return of these items, just because both of them just do not meet my expectations. There is damage to the front art cover and the case itself, and this it's quite visible actually, but this case also appears to be kind of like dented. It could have been just bad storage, or warping of the plastic due to like the many years of storage, like I said, or just normal sort of warping. But it is kind of a little wobbly also. So unfortunately, neither one of these games really meets my expectations in terms of quality. And I do believe that I always specify to the sellers that I'm buying for collection, etc., please pack, and I ask them to double check for damage like this. And it's kind of hard to miss unless you're not wearing glasses while having a prescription. But that's definitely, this right here, this right there is damage deep enough to damage the art cover. So this is a disc and manual only game. Obviously the case is also damaged. And this here, where it's much smaller damage right there, but it's definitely sort of deep enough to damage at least the case. But most likely there's a small imprint, which again I don't need to super worry about necessarily, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some dent on the art cover as well. And I do understand that these older games, I mean, it's you can't expect them to be perfect, but I'm gonna keep looking. I do want to return these as they do not meet my expectations. I always do check the photos of the listing. Upon unboxing something like this, I do always check the photos of the listing and the description as well. But oftentimes with the sellers nowadays on eBay, they just say blah blah whatever, copy, brand new. Well, you know what, dude? And again, I don't know if this applies to this particular seller just yet, but you really, if there is damage on the case that's visible, it's kind of like the responsibility of the seller to sort of demonstrate it to potential buyers so that the buyers know what to expect. So yeah, it remains to be seen, but I do not wish to keep either one of these, and I would like to return them for that reason, or for the that reason being the fact that there's damage on the front to the case itself and the art cover. So if you're somebody who's a collector like me and you end up with damaged copies like this, or you damage them yourself, you may want to try to get rid of them. And one way to try to get rid of them is to sell them on eBay without disclosing the damage, which is not cool. You got what you got. If you want to sell it, then sell what you got by showing what you got. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to dupe somebody or hope that somebody is blind or whatever, or is not a collector like you who's not going to care or whatever. The price for each one of these items, for both of these, was nearly $190, and neither one of them, based on the damage to the front, meets the expectations that I would have when I paid that much, okay, for these games. All right, I'd rather wait longer and pay more, to have the money back from these, but rather wait longer and pay more, but to get to get the items in the condition, first of all, as advertised, and second of all, in the condition that I need or desire for my collector purposes.